Let's slow this down and talk like normal people for a moment. If you look at Naturism over the last 70 years, one thing stands out. It survived, but it didn't really move forward. Clubs existed, beaches existed, people practiced quietly. But structurally, legally, politically, institutionally, Naturism stayed frozen in time. By 2024, that was becoming a real problem. There was no modern law written for Naturism. No clear standards, councils, or insurers could rely on. No way to measure stigma, just arguments about whether it existed. And no serious link between Naturism and public health or workplace health. So in 2025, instead of arguing about opinions, NaturismRE started building missing pieces. Not slogans, actual tools. One of the biggest was drafting the Naturist Integrity and Cultural Protection Act. That doesn't mean a law was passed, governments do that. But for the first time, Naturism had draft legislation written specifically to recognize it, protect it, and clearly separate it from sexual behavior. That alone changed the conversation. Then came the NaturismRE industry standards. Because rights without standards don't survive long. Together, those two things finally gave Naturism something it never had before: a legal backbone and a practical rulebook. Another major shift was safe health zones. SHZ isn't about nudity for the sake of it. It's about recovery, prevention, grounding, and long-term health, especially for workers. For the first time in over 70 years, an OH and S reform actually acknowledged how bodies recover in nature. And SHZ deliberately integrates the 11 levels of Naturism, also called the 11 levels of health restoration. Instead of pretending well-being is one size fits all, education changed too. Instead of vague ideas, NaturismRE built the SAM framework: self-respect, acceptance, mindfulness, simple language people can actually use, teach, and understand. Stigma stopped being theoretical. With the standardized stigma measure, and then the Global Naturism and Nudism Index, the Urgency Index, and the Global Naturism Ecosystem Report, Naturism entered the world of data. Once something is measured, it can't be dismissed as just a feeling. Technology wasn't avoided either. Aletheas was developed as an ethical AI to support the movement. Not to replace people, but to analyze patterns, host discussions, and challenge blind spots. That includes this assembly 8 AIs discussing real human and naturist challenges, not marketing talking points. Governance was tackled head-on. With the DemoCry framework, Naturists finally have a way to create and grow political parties where that makes sense, instead of staying permanently outside the system. There was also an optional spiritual side developed, Naturis Sancta, not a belief system people must follow, but a way for those who want it to frame nature as the ultimate observable force, without dogma. On the ground, things moved too. Operation Disrobe #1 and #2 were completed. Operation Disrobe #3 is already planned. Media picked it up multiple outlets, 13 press releases, and the conversation shifted from shock to substance. And one quiet but important decision. NaturismRE removed membership barriers. No paywall, no gatekeeping. Advocacy support became open. That says a lot about intent. So when people ask, what actually changed in 2025? The honest answer is this: Naturism stopped relying on tolerance and started building protection. It stopped asking to be left alone and started preparing to stand. None of this is finished. It's early. Some of it will evolve. Some of it will be challenged. But 2025 is the year Naturism finally gave itself tools that can last. And what happens next depends on whether people use them